All right, what's good, family? Now, look, I thought that I was the only one, interested and kind of intrigued by, what's going on in England with the Queen passing and how the heirs of the throne take over and, different things happen. But I see it's been a lot of posts about it, which lets me know that I'm not the only one interested and I'm not the only one, looking up and doing, my research on it. So it was some things that I found out that I wanted to share with everybody. You know me, I'm always about, motivation, also about, finances and money management. And depending on how you take what I say, depending on how you receive the message, it could probably be a bit of both. I'm going to say that this message tonight is about motivating you all to build your estate, motivating you all to protect your estate, motivating you all to see how it is to really build generational wealth. I'm gonna also start this off of saying that recently I had a conversation about the Bush family, the ones who started Budweiser, and how they had a trust and left the business to their children. And when they died, the children sold their stuff almost immediately, and the family owned nothing. They say success leaves clues. We're going to talk about why the royal family is so rich. Shout out to EYL, who posted something about a duchy and was talking about how the then prince, now king, is taking over as the Duke of Lancaster. And with him taking over as the Duke of Lancaster, they said that he's made Prince William, who was his firstborn, the Duke of Cornwall. Now, a guy like me, I'm just like, what kind of sense does that make? Why are we taking somebody who's been the Duke of Cambridge for the last 20 years or however long it's been and making him the Duke of Cornwall? Who cares? Is Cornwall's land, more popular than Cambridge? I've heard of Cambridge and never even really heard of Cornwall. But listen, the royal family, man, they got it all figured out. So look, it's two royal duchies in England. One, like I said, the Duchy of Lancaster. That belongs to whoever the monarch is at the time. So it was just the Queen's. Now Charles is the king. It belongs to him. And then the second duchy is the Duchy of Cornwall. The Duchy of Cornwall was founded in 1337 by King Edward. He founded it for his son, whose name was also Edward, and he made it so that it'll allow his son to be independent and also stay out of trouble. So since then, it's been 700 years, and it's been tradition for the eldest son of the British monarch to inherit possession of that duchy, as well as the title, the Duke of Cornwall. Now look, when a monarch has no male children, the rights and responsibilities of the duchy revert to the crown, and there is no duke at all. But I will add this, just as, we have here in the United States done different things to evolve and, be more conscious of other people's rights and not, more along the lines of equity and inclusion. I see that they've also done that in England. Now, in 2015, some laws were amended, and the laws state that the eldest child of the monarch, regardless of sex, will be the heir apparent to the throne. So that means that if the king's first child was a female, or is a female, because of course it wasn't amended until after 2015, so everything goes into place after that. So Prince William's firstborn son, if his first child is a female, then she will be the heir apparent to the throne. Thought that was interesting. But they made changes with that, but there's still been no changes made as far as the Duke of Cornwall is concerned. So that rule still stands. Now listen, EYL spoke on the king inheriting a duchy of Lancaster worth $750 million. But let's talk about the Duchy of Cornwall. The Duchy of Cornwall is estimated to be worth $1.3 billion. Just last year, it brought in 27.4 million in net income. The Duchy of Cornwall, it extends across 21 countries in England and also Wales. It's composed of almost 140,000 acres of land, has 260 farms, upland, moorland, islands, foreshore, and forests. Also included in the duchy is rural commercial and residential properties, urban commercial property, urban residential property, and some development sites. The duchy makes money for the heir to the throne by renting its property out to tenants on standard commercial terms. It's said to have approximately 2,640 leases, about 67 million in development land, and about 397 million in commercial property. The duchy is also the majority shareholder in a few of the largest companies within the duchy that conveniently does a lot of work for the duchy. They thinking, right? Fun fact. The government considers the duchy to be a crown body. Therefore, it's exempt from paying corporate tax. That rule has been up for discussion forever, I'm sure. But since 1993, that's when Prince, now King Charles, took over, he has voluntarily paid taxes on the duchy's income. Something else that I found interesting is that the duchy has special legal rights. It's something that really caught my eye was this thing. It's the rules in this thing called bona vacantia. This rule, or maybe it's a law, states that the property of anyone who dies inside the county of Cornwall without a will or identifiable heirs, and the assets belonging to dissolved companies whose registered offices were in Cornwall, automatically pass to the duchy. Tell me that ain't some gangsters, man. Now listen, this goes back to address the thing I said earlier about the Bush family. So look, while the Duke of Cornwall controls and receives, money from the duchy, he doesn't own it. He has interest in possession of the duchy's assets. And that means that they get to enjoy the net income, but don't have its outright ownership. So with that being said, if they sell anything, they don't have the right to make any profit of it. It won't, nothing that they sell that's owned by the duchy, do they have the right to profit on. Which means that by them doing that, this trust being set up this way, they ensure that this literally stays within the family for decades, for generations. Why would I sell it if I can't get anything from it? I might as well keep it within the family, keep it within my duchy, so that the money that it makes, I could continue to profit off of. Now look, you got the Duchy of Lancaster. I was looking at just how the family tree works, and it's about 20 levels of people who can possibly become an heir to the throne. It's very, very interesting. I know it's a little bit, different than what I typically speak on, but hey, it's about money. And it's also about, again, success leaving clues. You heard me say the Duchy of Cornwall was put in place in 1337, over 700 years ago. If it's still working now, we might want to figure out how to get our own Duchy of Cornwall going so we can make sure our family's straight for the rest of time. Look, man, that was my 2 cents for the day. I hope you all enjoyed it, man. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to tell you about the Duchy of Lancaster. That's worth $750 million. Again, I think it's interesting. Y'all have a good night.